Hey, how's it going, my fellow Homo sapiens? This is your boy yugioh, and this is a Yu-Gi-Oh analysis of the new archetype artifacts. So the first one we have here is Artifact Cartridge, and basically all their effects is you can set these cards in your spell and trap card zone, and when they are destroyed and sent to the graveyard on your opponent's turn, you can special summon them from the graveyard on your side of the field. And each one have a different effect. So let's just jump right into it. First thing first, Cartridge. Now, if I butcher the name, please forgive me. Some of these names are very complex to pronounce. Cartridge effect is when it's destroyed in the spell or trap card zone on your opponent's turn, special summon on your side of the field. And when another artifact is special summoned, you draw a card. You can only control one cartridge on the field, and you have to have this card on the field for it to resolve. The second one is Artifact Libris. Basically, this effect is when it's destroyed in the spell trap card zone, it special summons on your side of the field when it's your opponent's turn. Now, the cool thing about this card is you can have it in your hand. When an artifact card is destroyed, you can special summon it, and this is awesome. You know, it's not just a monster, it's a card. They have spell and trap cards for artifacts, so it's really good. This one right here, I usually do not set in my spell and trap card zone. Once again, 5 stars, and it's a 23 beater, 1000 defense. If you haven't noticed, all the artifacts are light fairies. I don't feel like they should be fairies really, but who really cares? The light, I like for the simple reason you can use Honest with them. Now the next one is Moral Attach. Oh man, I like this one. Once again, same effect. If it's set in your spell and trap card zone, it's destroyed on your opponent's turn, special summon it on your side of the field. Now, the cool thing about this card is when it special summons, you can destroy one face-up card your opponent controls. That's awesome. At first I thought it was monster, but it's just one card. That right there is just great. It's nice. I really can't talk about how good it is. You actually have to play it in person to just know how good this card is. And the next one is Artifact Beagle Cat. Beagle Cat. Basically what this card does, set it in your spell and trap card zone. When it special summons on your side of the field, you can target up to 2 of your cards and destroy it. You can do this once per turn. So if your opponent MST this card on their turn, you special summon, destroy up to 2 more of your cards. And that's the cool thing. It says up to. So let's say you only have 1 card, you can destroy that 1 card. Usually it says just 2, and if you only had 1, you could not. But since it says up to 2, you can choose up to 2 targets. Destroy those 2 targets, and then if they're artifact monsters, they get their effects. Oh man, so good. It's a 1400 attack, 2100 defense. The next one is Adrius. Artifact Adrius. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Basically, when this card is destroyed on your opponent's turn, special summon on the field. Artifact monsters you control cannot be destroyed or targeted by card effects until the end phase. Wow, nice. 2500 defense. I'm putting this bitch in defense. You know I am. Protect my monsters. So good. You know, oh, you're gonna heavy storm? Oh, you're gonna compulse one of my monsters? Well, guess what? You cannot target. Thank you, kind sir. Card is really nice. Now, one thing I did do is look up a lot of these monsters, and I went to one of my judges. It's not out in the US yet. It's only out in Japan. So I asked a few of my judges about some of these rulings on it. And so far, all of them, they have told me that these rulings are changed. So like, let's say 3 of these go to the graveyard or 5 of these go to the graveyard. They will create a chain. So you'll have like chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, chain 4. So far what I'm finding out, all the information I'm getting, is they do not miss timing. That's the big thing about this deck. If the deck missed timing, I feel like the deck is not going to do that well. However, so far, all the information I am getting from judges is that they create a chain. So you need to know how chains work. You know, chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and it goes backwards. So chain 3 will go first, chain 2 next, and chain 1 last. So the next card we have Theosophy of the Artifact. Another good card. So basically how this card works. You can special summon one artifact monster from your deck. You can only activate one of these Theosophy of Artifacts once per turn. You cannot conduct your battle phase when you activate this card. And if this card is in your possession and is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Destroy that target. Oh wow. So they can MST, chain, special summon on your opponent's turn one artifact monster, get that artifact effect. Also, since this card was destroyed, destroy one card on the field. So you can destroy another artifact monster you have been set in your magic trap card zone, or blow up one of your opponent's monsters, or spell a trap cards, or even field spell. The next one we have, and I think this is the best artifact support card, is Artifact Movement. This card is insane. It's like a MST, but on steroids. It's just overall good. You can destroy one spell or trap card on the field, hands down. But then you can set a artifact monster in your spell and trap card zone. Wow. Two good effects. But there's a third effect. If this card is destroyed by your opponent, they skip their next battle phase. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will say that this card does seem broken. Hands down. It's just too good. You can use it as an MST. You can use it to blow up your own things. You can use it to skip your opponent's battle phase. Or you can use it and get an artifact monster and set it in your spell and trap card zone. Wow. So good. So good. And the last but not least is Artifact Yugioh. This card right here is just so great. I think it's just good all over. It has a negation ability and it has a shuffle ability. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Once per turn during any player's turn, you can activate one of these effects. When a monster effect is activated on the field or a normal spell and trap card, you can detach one material from this card and it becomes one destroy spell or trap card on your opponent's control. So basically, let's say they use Judgment. They pay 1,000 to blow up the field. Well, I can detach and that effect will become their destroy one of my spell or trap card zones. Destroy one card of my in my spell and trap card zone. So they have to blow up something in my spell and trap card zone. I might have one of these artifacts in there, especially if I got this man right here. He's going to special summon and blow up Judgment, hands down. The second effect is basically basic. You can shuffle, both players can shuffle their hands into their decks and draw the same number of cards. Why is that good? Well, here's an example. I was going to get some Zodia and had this on the field. I allow this man to run through his deck. Then, once I felt like he was getting close to the Zodia, I used the effect. Shuffle his whole hand back into his deck and draw the same number of cards. Guess what? Scoop phase. It's not really that high. It's a 2400 beater, 21 defense, but it's good because it has negation abilities. It's not really negating, but to me personally, I kind of count that as a negation ability. So overall, I like the archetype. For this to come out in one pack and have this much support and be just good, just coming in one pack, it's really mind-blowing. Because you ask yourself, would it get more support in the next series or the next pack? This deck here seems like it can only be good and just go up from there. Now, I do feel like this deck will get hit after it's released. You know, it's going to make sales. People's going to play it to death. It's going to top. My personal opinion, I feel like this is tier 1 deck. This is a tier 1 archetype, hands down. I really like artifacts. I like how they feel. They feel fast. Now, do they have weaknesses? Yes, artifacts definitely has a lot of weaknesses. One weakness is if people know you plant artifacts, they usually are not going to destroy your back row, or they're going to try to make sure you can't destroy your back row, or they just won't attack on their turn. Because a lot of cards we use is like when they attack, we have certain trap cards where we can destroy our back row, things of that nature. Now, some of the problems I have found with this deck is if my opponent doesn't set any back row, it's really hard for me to blow anything up unless I get an MST or something of this nature. But those are some of the issues. The plus side about this deck is once it starts, I mean, you're going. You're most likely going to win. Especially if you have a full back row and you can blow up your whole back row and special summon these guys. Yes, so great. Special summon, special summon, special summon. They can't be destroyed by card effects or be targeted. Destroy one of your opponent's cards and guess what? Draw 2 cards. So awesome because you special summon 2 other artifacts. So if I missed anything or I said something out of context, let me know in the comment box below. Thanks for watching. I'm yugioh, and have a great day.